Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a Project Pan video, which has been inspired by this quarantine life. I kind of promised myself that I'm not going to buy any new products during this quarantine time for as long as it lasts. So I may be doing like a no buy video really explaining what the parameters around that are, but along the same lines, I thought I might as well take this time that I have at home to really appreciate and play with all of the products that I have, and especially the products that are going to be expiring in the next couple of months. So before we get into it, as I mentioned in my last video, I did dye my hair. I dyed it dark again. It was pretty black when I got it done, but I've washed it a couple times, so it looks pretty much how I would want it to. This is actually pretty close to my natural hair color, which is what I was going for. I kind of wanted to go back to my roots. No pun intended. I'm glad that I did it. I'm really happy with this. I've been loving being a brunette again. So go ahead and grab yourself a beverage and get ready with me. Today I've got my chai tea in my S mug, which never faces the camera because I'm right-handed. I've just given up on trying to make it look aesthetically pleasing. However, for those of you who love chai tea lattes and are kind of not able to go to Starbucks or your local coffee shop to get one right now, I love chai so much that I've actually experimented with making it at home a ton. So I have a ton of different recipes and things I've tried. If you want to like make it on a stove from scratch, I also can show you what I do for that. So if you guys would be interested in like a mini chai video, probably less than 10 minutes, and just talking about how I make it, then let me know. I'd be happy to share that with you guys. All right, without further ado, let's roll into makeup. Alright guys, so let's start with the Spotlight Illuminating Primer from Physicians Formula. This is what it looks like. I've had this for definitely about a year, maybe a little more. I'm gonna do 2 pumps. So that's what it looks like. It's very glowy, which I like. A lot of these products are just things that have fallen by the wayside a little bit because I bought a ton of makeup last year especially, and I've been testing it out. Also, interestingly enough, a lot of the products that you're gonna see in this Project Pan video are like products that for some reason I used to be sensitive to the ingredients and I'm not anymore, mainly dimethicone, especially this primer specifically. I used to not use it because it has dimethicone in it, and thankfully, somehow, my skin stopped being sensitive to it. I had a lot of like eczema issues, so once those healed up and my skin barrier got thick enough and healthy enough, dimethicone wasn't a problem for me anymore. I'm gonna do my best to explain to you guys, even though I am using all of these products, the reasons why I haven't used them in a while. If there are products that I like don't love a ton, I'll tell you guys that. All right, so primer is on the face. As you can see, it's very glowy. I'm going to go in next, nope, not with this. I'm gonna go in next with the Burt's Bees concealer. This is a little bit light for me, but I do want to use it up. And actually, I don't mind this concealer at all. I just have a couple others that I've been using, so I kind of want to get through this one just because it's one of my older concealers, but I do like it. And let me just say, I do not like the foundation from Burt's Bees, like at all, not even a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to use this to dot on a couple of my problem areas. If you guys can't tell, I have a lot of little dots around my cheeks because I have some rosacea. And I put on an oil in the interest of going through the things that I need to use up and have had for a while. I put on an oil from Goddess Garden that I got a long time ago that I hadn't used up yet last night. And I woke up with all of this morning, and then I looked at the expiration date and it is expired. That was a horrible idea. I had to put it in my empties. I mean, I used quite a bit of it in its prime, but that's why I'm really breaking out today. All right, so I'm gonna go in with this Real Techniques face brush, which is lovely, and I imagine a lot of you have this at home too. I've heard so many people talk about this, and it's affordable. So I'm just kind of blending over my problem areas first, letting that stuff on the eyes kind of dry down a bit. Quick tip for liquid concealers, really any concealer, if you're trying to cover up dark circles and like me, you have slightly protruding or like kind of sunken eyes, you know, it really helps to put a little concealer like up here. So bring it from down here. You can either apply it up here or just kind of bring it up with a brush. But in this area right here, I like to put a little bit of concealer. It just kind of helps hide that shadow there a little bit and really helps even things out. I found that if I just put it underneath the eye, there's always a little bit of blue up here that I miss, and I still end up looking kind of tired. Okay, so that's the Burt's Bees stuff blended in. Next, I'm going to go in with the Mineral Fusion foundation. This is their pressed base foundation. I have it in the shade Neutral 2. So this is what it looks like in the pan. The reason why I haven't used this a whole ton is because I went in with like a damp sponge or something into the palette, or I think I even like took a brush on my face that I had like sprayed rose water on into it to get a little more product, and the entire top of it just like glazed over. It became hard. So as you can see, it's kind of beat up. I hope you can see that. I had to literally scrape off the stuff on top. So you can still see a couple spots where that hardened texture is still on there, but thankfully I can actually get to the product now. So I'm just gonna use this on one side of the face and see how it does, so we can kind of compare. I'm just gonna take a little bit down the nose here to kind of even that out. All right, guys, so this is kind of not a fair comparison because this side is more broken out than this side. But this is how the side with the foundation is looking. It's not emphasizing texture like I would expect it to with a powder foundation. The only powder foundation I've tried and really trust is the Alima Pure one, which I really want to reorder, but I need to go through this stuff first. But I actually think it's blurred quite well. I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever used, but I think it works pretty well. All right, guys, so this side is done. As you can see, it actually covered up discoloration pretty well, I think. You can still see some texture and some stuff is poking through, but I actually think it did a really good job. I don't mind the way this looks at all. Interesting. Let's move on to the rest of the face. All right, guys, so I'm gonna do something that I haven't done a whole lot on this channel yet, at least not on video. I'm gonna contour. So I have this Lilly Lolo palette, and it's just got a contour shade and highlight shade. I'm gonna go in with this fluffy brush, thin brush, into that contour shade. And I'm going to take this around the areas I want to contour. All right, guys, so that's the contour done. I didn't go too crazy, and honestly, the reason I haven't used this a ton is that I don't contour very often. However, I do like this palette. I actually think the color is pretty nice, although I will admit that I really only use the contour shade on me. I don't use this highlighter a lot. This is what it looks like. I mean, it's not crazy or anything, and I don't dislike it. It's one of those products that hasn't impressed me a whole lot. I do have a different highlight palette that I'm going to use today, so I'm not going to use that one, but I do need to go through that a little bit more. All right, guys, so we are going to move on to blush, and then I'll do highlighter on top. I am going to use this Living Libations Maiden Fern Blushing Balm. So it looks a little crazy because it melted in my car over the summer. It's actually like a lip to cheek kind of product. You can use it anywhere. This is what it looks like. So it's really a red color. But what I like about it is it actually gives the cheeks like a natural flush, is the idea, at least. I'm actually going to put a little bit of this on my lips first just because they're feeling really dry. This is a really hydrating product, and to be completely honest with you, I do use this quite often. There is just so much of it. Like, you need so little to actually get any kind of pigment that, I mean, you really do not need to go ham with this stuff. So I'm going to go in with this Eco Tools fluffy brush that I've been using a lot for blush, and I'm just going to tap into that. There's a little bit of product, and I'm just going to start on the apples of my cheeks and tap outward. Guys, this stuff is so beautiful. Like, I'm so excited that I've tapped into this and like kind of rediscovered it again because it's just gorgeous. I actually don't use a brush with it very often. I use my fingers a lot of the time, but I think the brush did really well at distributing pigment. You do have to kind of work fast with it because it almost stains the cheeks. It is kind of like a cheek stain and lip stain. But also the kind of magical thing about this product, and the reason it's called a blushing balm, is that it actually makes you flush. Like, it has what? It's got ginger, cayenne, peppermint, turmeric, and it says all of the ingredients on the back, and they're all really healthy. Like, this is really organic, like really the kind of product that only has natural stuff in it, which means it's really good for the skin. I mean, I really like how this nourishes. However, the fact that it has so many like heat inducing properties means that it just brings blood to the surface of the face and makes you blush in a very convincing way, which I absolutely adore. I need to get through this stuff because it is going to expire eventually. And this is one of my oldest products. I don't know if I should even be using it. I guess if I have a bad reaction to it, I'll know. But I'm gonna keep using it until something happens or I have another reason not to, because I mean, it is just, I love it. It's magic. It's really cool technology. All right, guys, so now on to a product that I do not love, and that is the RMS Beauty Luminizer Quad. It is so dirty on the back and the front, really. But as you can see, I haven't dipped into it a whole lot. Last summer I tried to dip into it and I used these shades quite often. I don't like this. It has coconut oil in it and it breaks me out without fail when I use it. However, I'm gonna try to use it on my eyes a little bit more, and I will use it today on the face and just see what happens. But it's one of those products that I have to be really careful with. I might only be able to use it on my eyes. But yeah, I was not impressed with this. The colors are fine. It isn't the most beautiful highlight I've ever used by any means, and I really don't agree with RMS's business practices, which could be a whole nother video. But of course, that's totally up to you guys. You can agree with their business practices. And honestly, I promise I would tell you if I thought that this was a good product. And honestly, it is good. It's just not amazing. But it also breaks people out, like a lot of people. Coconut oil is sensitive to a lot of people, so I'm surprised that they are using it. Anyway, I am gonna go in, for my actual highlight shade today, I think I'm gonna go in with this, the Luminizer X. So I think this is kind of the like original, or it's supposed to be pretty close to the Luminizer that you can get like in a pot. So this is what it looks like on my finger, and I'm just going to tap around the areas that I want highlight. Alright guys, so that is the Luminizer X shade. I think it's supposed to be a little more icy all over the face. And honestly, it's been a little bit since I've used this product. I think that this is really pretty, especially in this natural light. But what I said still stands, that it does break me out. And so I've found other highlights that achieve this really beautiful dewy look that are less expensive. I can think of a couple right now. Physicians Formula Organic Wear. Really good. But I actually do think that I'm going to go for kind of a dewy look on the eyes today too. And so I'm going to go in with this darker shade on the eyes. What is that called? Luminizer Nude. So I'm going to go in, just kind of warm this up on my finger. Since it is an oil-based product, you do have to kind of work it. All right, so that's what that looks like. And I'm just going to swipe this all over the lids. Alright guys, that's all I'm going to use of the Luminizer Quad today, but I actually think that looks really pretty. It has like a nice sheen. I like this look that we're going for. Alright, so I will do mascara in a second because that's kind of all I'm going to do for eyes today, but I am going to go into brows using two products. The first is this Burt's Bees eye pencil. As you can see, I'm almost down to the like used up line, so I'm going to try to use this up. And I actually have another pencil of this exact kind in my collection. I just want to go through this one, you know, like it's so close, let's just use it up. All right, I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna leave the front of my brows pretty much untouched today. Next, I'm gonna go in with this Juice Beauty The Organic Solution brow gel in the shade Light Medium 02, I think. So this is what it looks like. It's got a really small wand, and I'm just going to brush through my brows. Oh, so I didn't actually say this out loud, but I do really like the Burt's Bees. That's why I have another one in my collection. I like their brow pencil. It's really soft, so if you're someone who likes something pretty darn like hard waxy, then maybe don't go for it. I also think it's really affordable and something that does well and is affordable, I'm all about. Okay, so this Juice Beauty brow gel, however, is something I don't like a whole lot. Let me get a spoolie. I'm just gonna kind of clean this up a little bit. I don't know, I would maybe change the design of it, maybe have a slightly longer wand. It's pretty wet and it doesn't deposit a whole lot of pigment, and I guess it's a personal preference thing, but when I use a tinted brow gel, I want it to be pretty tinted. I mean, enough that you actually see it. Okay, so now we are moving on to mascara. This is the Inika Long Lash. This is a sample size, or like a travel size. I got it as like a gift with purchase, with something I got a long time ago. This is what the wand looks like. I actually really like this wand. The mascara is just okay. It's pretty good. Let me actually show you guys what it looks like on though. All right, so this is one eye done compared to the other. So I do think that this is a pretty mascara. I enjoy using it. It's just like, for some reason, not my favorite. My favorites right now are the Thrive and the Honest Beauty. All right, guys, so for this very simple look, we are down to lips, and these are the ones I pulled out that I kind of need to go through. One of them is just a Burt's Bees lip tint in the shade Red Dahlia. I don't know how quickly these expire, but I'm not so worried about using this up. However, I do also have a 100% pure lip caramel in the shade Ganache. This brings back memories for me and it's kind of special. I'll like save it no matter what, even when I like go through it, because this was the first clean beauty lip that I ever invested in and bought, and this is what, 3 years old now? So I'm gonna continue to use it. That probably means it's expired. I should use it more though because I adore the shade of this, so I might use this today. Then I have this Bare Minerals Nude Matte Lip in Slay. This is the color of it, really beautiful. I like the formula of these a lot. And then I have the Pacifica Pluscious Liquid Mineral Lipstick in the shade, oh gosh, I think this is the shade Breathless, but it doesn't say on the package. All three of these I love, so there's like nothing wrong with these. It's just that you guys know that like lips are my curse. I just end up, well, also a blessing. Lips are a blessing. I'm sorry, God, I take it back. Lips are amazing, but I just have so many. This thing is full of them, and I have others sitting around in purses and jackets and stuff. But I love all three of these is the point, and I haven't not used them because I don't like them. I just, you know. Anyway, let's figure out what this look needs. Well, oh, I did say that I was going to use the blushing. The blushing balm is so hydrating and it actually plumps your lips a little bit. And so since I put it on, it looks really nice. You know what? I'm gonna go for the blushing balm just because I want to show you guys how beautiful this looks when you really apply it. So I'm just gonna take this lip brush. Unfortunately, I don't have a red lip liner in my collection right now, which is weird because I have quite a few red lipsticks. But I'm just gonna go in with this brush. I'm gonna use the viewfinder, and I'll speed you guys through this, but I'll let you see what the application looks like. Alright guys, so I think I'm gonna leave it like this. You can build this up to be pretty darn red, but I think this shade alone, when you just kind of do a nice wash, looks beautiful. I also don't use this with a lip brush very often. Usually I just do like a light wash with my finger, and so it's usually not this defined, but I'm really liking this. Alright guys, so that is it for this Project Pan look. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you lovely people next time.